Hey everybody, welcome to Hat Hole Home Video. Today is VHS Pickups Day. We added a few things to the collection and yeah, it's time to look at them. The first thing is a couple of Hammer Horror Anchor Bay clamshells. If you've watched through other pickups videos, you'll know that I stumbled into quite a few of these not too long ago over the past few months, and I have stumbled into a couple more, so the collection grows. First up, we have the Mummy's Shroud. Beautiful Hammer Horror cover right there. The Mummy's Shroud, beware the beat of the cloth-wrapped feet. That is the dumbest and also the greatest quote I've ever read about mummies. It's like, beware the full moon when they come for you. The sunlight will kill them. Beware the beat of the cloth-wrapped feet. It's weird. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's weird. A small archaeological party headed by Sir Basil Walden discover the hidden tomb of Ka-Tobe. Despite a warning from the wild-eyed guardian, Hasmid Ali, so that's going to be a racist performance, would be my guess. The wild-eyed guardian. They take Ka-Tobe to Cairo and place him next to the mummy of Prem, his devoted slave and protector. So, I mean, to be fair, the mummy as a character is sort of the prerequisite is you're plundering the tombs of another culture. So, you know, maybe not as 2021 as we would like it to be, but you know, you take what you get. The mystical hieroglyphic shroud that covers Ka-Tobe's body is read aloud by Ali and restores Prem to life, resulting in an unstoppable progression of madness, mystery, and murder. The Mummy's Shroud was the last Hammer film to be shot at Bray Studios, which marked the end of a 16-year association. Interesting. It's got a little Hammer Horror history. And I should point out, too, for those interested, these Anchor Bay clamshells, which, by the way, we've got a little advertisement for if you want to order any of your Hammer Horror merch, buy that merch. Buy that merch. Something tells me they're not honoring these anymore. But these clamshells are neat because when you take out the insert, the inside has like some behind the scenes information. You know, back in the days when you couldn't necessarily have all these DVD special features, this was a little way of, you know, including a little supplemental material with these VHS tapes, which I think is really, really cool. And then we also have the blood from the mummy's tomb, which, I mean, you know, obviously the cover is showing off a very nice pair of characters in the movie. A British expedition team, common threads here, a British expedition team in Egypt discovers the ancient sealed tomb of the evil Queen Tara. But when one of the archaeologists steals a mysterious ring from the corpse's severed hand, he unleashes a relentless curse upon his beautiful daughter. Is the voluptuous young woman now a reincarnation of the diabolical sorceress? Or has the curse of the mummy returned to reveal its horrific revenge? I don't know. We'll have to watch to find out. One of Hammer's most notorious productions, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, was plagued by the sudden deaths of director Seth Holt and the wife of original star Peter Cushing, leading to rumors of a real-life curse. Andrew Keir, Quartermast and the Pit, and the luscious Valerie Leon star in this supernatural shocker based on Bram Stoker's classic novel Jewel of the Seven Stars. It is also, by the way, remastered for optimal picture and sound and presented in widescreen, which is also cool. I suppose, is this one? Does it say? It just says aspect ratio 166:1, so I think that's 4:3. So that's a full screen. We also have, they wrote a whole frickin' book on the inside of this one. Look at that. All kinds of supplemental material. Maybe you can pause it and read all about it. So yeah, I was very excited to walk into those. Once again, with thrifting, you never know. And it oddly does come in these weird waves where I've never seen a Hammer clamshell before out, thrifting in the wild. And now they're beating down my door. I've got more now than I've ever even knew existed. So, and I don't even have all of them. I also found the Let the Devil Wear Black, which looks like a horror movie. The cover definitely looks like a horror movie. It appears to not be a horror movie. You'll see at the top there, it says, if you like LA Confidential, Donnie Brasco, or The Usual Suspects, you will like this movie. It's more of a crime family thriller kind of a movie. I don't know if you can see it there, but that little red picture, that is a young, fresh-faced Norman Reedus. That's right. Walking Dead himself. Boondocks Saints himself. A college student investigates his wealthy father's death, suspecting that his mother and uncle may be involved. When his mother and uncle announce their marriage plans, their foul plot unravels, threatening to destroy the entire family. Violent killings, shocking suicides, and a thrilling plot lead to a showdown between mother, son, and family that will shake you to your core. That's a bold claim from a movie from Apex Entertainment, that it will shake me to my core. It is, in fact, rated R. It doesn't tell us why, but I think we can kind of guess why. This is the kind of movie that I probably would have been way more into in maybe the year 2000. I definitely liked, I think indie, organized crime, or maybe not organized crime, but just sort of like the seedy criminal underworld movies. They kind of had their day back then. I was definitely a little more into them at that time. Yeah, I'm sure it might be fine. I don't know. What do I know? I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. This one looks awesome, by the way. Look at this. Challenge of the Lady Ninja. This might be a sexist thing to say, so I do apologize, but I love when they put lady in front of things. Especially, they would do that on, I feel like, martial arts movies a lot. It would be like the mark of the lady assassin or whatever. I don't know. I just like lady. It reminds me of The Simpsons when Marge was the listen lady. And she's like, I'm the listen lady. And then Moe's like, yeah, all right, well, listen, lady. Like, that's what I always think of. Whenever I see lady, I always think, listen, lady. So it's just my dumb brain. Look, I don't know what to tell you. Once again, I'm at a loss for explaining why my brain does what it does. But this movie looks like a lot of cheesy fun. It says, these women are more deadly than men. After studying ninjutsu for 17 years, the lovely Wu Cao Hui, I probably butchered that, so I apologize, returns to her native China to revenge her father's murder. Don't you avenge it? Do you say, I'm going to revenge you? I will revenge you. I don't think you do. To revenge her father's murder. She suspects her double-crossing uncle. Another double-crossing uncle. There's just always these threads connecting movie to movie that you never expect. She suspects her double-crossing uncle, who delights in hunting down Chinese revolutionaries fighting the Japanese oppressors. Okay? She assembles a group of women, each with special talents to help her seduce and slaughter her foes. There's female mud wrestling, torturous training, mind-boggling aerobatics, and strange weapons, including a deadly razor-sharp boomerang. You're telling me this doesn't sound amazing. Come on. All providing that burning hatred... What? All proving that burning hatred is the worst pain a human can endure. Oh, it has... All of a sudden, it has like a philosophical message at the end. When you're like, there's mud wrestling... but also makes you think. You know, not a lot of movies have female mud wrestling, but then they really make you think, you know? Challenge of the Lady Ninja. I'm very excited to watch this one. It may very well be a VHS Dreadful in the future, if it's not boring. And then finally, which I think I ended up getting 2 copies of this movie because I had finally just broken down and was like, I'm going to get one on eBay because it's a movie that I always want to rewatch. It's a movie I want in the VHS collection. And finally I just broke down. I'm like, I'm getting it. Boom. I'm getting it. And then it was like the next day I found it in like at a thrift store. So I was mad that I had already bought it, but I'm like, I'm not going to not buy it. So now I have 2 copies, like whatever. I'm not going to pass it up after being so mad I haven't seen it in a thrift store, blah, blah, blah. It's a weird principle thing. So out of principle, I ended up getting 2. But it is The City of Lost Children. And if you've never watched this movie, I recommend it. It's weird. It's not going to be for everybody, but I think it is beautiful in its own way. It's weird, it's very visual, it's very stylized, it's very strange, and back when did it come out? It must have been like the late 90s? 96, okay. When it came out, I feel like it was on... We had like a free, well, maybe it was HBO, because my dad watched The Sopranos. That was HBO, right? So whenever the new season of The Sopranos was airing, we had HBO, and then my dad would cancel it once the season was over, and then he'd renew it when the next season started, kind of a thing. So we sort of off and on had HBO, and maybe that's where I watched it. But it was on one of those pay channels. Maybe Showtime had a free week or something. But I watched it several times on TV and kind of caught it in the middle once or twice. And, you know, took a while to watch, you know, to finally be able to watch it beginning to end. I may have just finally broke down and rented it at one point just to, like, get to go front to back. That's what she said. But yeah, it's a movie that I feel like doesn't really get talked about nowadays, and maybe now in a world where, you know, we have visionary directors like Guillermo del Toro, and, you know, we're used to seeing more stylized filmmaking. I think maybe now gets kind of lost in the middle of everything. But back then it really stood out to me as just something really, really bizarre and unique. So that's going to be it for today, those were the additions to the VHS collection here at Hat Hole Home Video. Thank you, everybody. As always, whether you are a patron, whether you subscribe, whether you comment on the videos, whether you like, whether you lurk, however you do it, however you enjoy, however you get some entertainment out of this channel, I really appreciate it. I really do. So whether you are a dirty dog sleeping in the sun or an alley rat eating up the night, you know that you always are welcome here at Hat Hole Home Video. Bye-bye.